So a little loosening, vertical. And side to side. And into a rotation. And just working, waving through this whole body. Nice, stretching up. Nice deep breath in. Extending through the spine. Rolling back up. Up and over to the side. And change. And again. And the other side. Rolling the shoulders backwards. And forwards. Nice big circles back. And change direction over to the front. Twisting out with the elbows. And then out with the hands. Good. Rolling the hips. The other way. On the knees. The way. And stretching it back. And down. And back again. And down. A little bit wider. Just sit the body down. And just twisting through the spine. Looking over the shoulder. And reaching down to the ground, pressing out with the elbows. Swinging side to side, nice and loose, keeping both feet in the ground. And just hold on the side. And change. And again. And again. And all the way down to the ground. And change. And both legs straight up. Hands on the same line. And just move to one foot, stretching over. Back into the center, and then to the other side. You can with both hands. Back to the center, and just walk the hands forward, just until you get to the fingertips. And lengthen through the whole body. Bring the hands back, just pressing the elbows down to the ground if you can. And really let the head relax into the arms. And try and release the lower back. Good. And very slowly coming back up. Stretching on the side. And straight. Bring the knee down. Stretch into the hip. And change. And one more time on the other side. And just using the hands down to the ground. Work with a spiral away from the back leg. Change sides. Good. And just bringing the feet up. If you can, palms down to the ground and knees straight. If you can't, bend the knees and press the palms into the ground. Just again, try and relax the head. And really try and fold the body. Yeah. Okay, and then straighten the knees and start to pull the hands up off the ground. And do this really with the hips, so it's as if the pelvis is drawing the hands up across the feet, and just drag the arms up the legs, pulling the body up with the pelvis. All the way up, all the way up, and just a full vertical. Yeah. Okay. Work with the same position, just with these swings. So arms up, just release through the knees. Nice and relaxed, just really sinking the weight down. And let the arms just go from the top. Keep the breath nice and full. Good. Okay, I'm just working side to side, twisting the hips. Imagine you kind of screwing into the ground with the body. Out. And so as much attention on the downward swing as the upwards, coming back up. Just really trying to fill the whole movement out. So. Into the shoulders, so let's keep in one side, bringing the arms down, back up, and into the center. Really let the body turn from side to side. Out, out, and close. And keep the breaths nice and big. Really try and open the ribcage out. And change direction with the hands.
Good. Okay, let's do a little bit of taisabaki. So front leg forward, just coming into an irimi tenkan with the feet. Just keep your arms nice and relaxed, just into a kind of soft kokyu. You're really focusing on the weight in the body, really spiraling into the ground. Really try and feel the body in all the directions. Good. Great. Great. Good. Okay, take a Bokken. We'll do a little bit of Suburi. So, we'll just go straight into the first Suburi. So just come into Kamai. You take your time with it. In this case, do this. Find the cut and then come back into the Kamai. So just really to make the distinction clear between the kind of cutting position and the Kamai. So don't usually do this, but just find the back, cutting down, and then just reset. Find the Kamai here. And then just come into the move. So you kind of three separate parts. Finding the back, cutting down, and then refinding the Kamai. Nice and relaxed and heavy. Good. We go to number 2. Again, just finding the head and the back, and then just coming back into the Kamai. Nice. Nice. Good. Right. Good. Okay, we'll go to Yokomanuchi, so number 5, just on the spot. That's nice and slow. Really just look for one movement. So raising up, using the base of the hand near the forehead, and just coming down. So nice and slow, nice and flexible, and really heavy in the cut. You just find that it's one movement, up and down. Ah. Okay, good. Just play with this a little bit. So there's an old thing is that the left hand's really the power hand. So that the hand at the base, the left hand in this case, is the one that really does the raising and the lowering. So it's the one where that generates this kind of the arc through the movement. And that the right hand's really kind of for direction with the tip. And most of the time the right hand's very loose. In this case, just play with the direction. So play with the left hand really creating the movement up and down this way. And that the right hand's really kind of a little bit responsible for this direction in the tip. So that actually the right hand's very loose. It needs to be quite loose. So the wrist is very loose and it moves really in this kind of direction. The right hand in this case doesn't do that. And the left hand doesn't do the direction. So just play with it. Just play with first just the left hand. Just up and down, to get a feel for that direction. It's really kind of responsible for it. This is the easiest hand to move it from because that's the most effect on the tip. So that the power is really going to come from the back of the weapon. And then the right hand on the side is much more flexible and it allows me to kind of move in these kind of directions. Also this way. It's mostly kind of in the wrist here. Got those. And then just play with them together. You've got the left hand doing this and the right hand doing this. I basically give that movement to the right hand, but in this case, I don't let the left hand do it, which basically twists the body. If I let the left hand do directions, basically twist the body out. I let the right hand do it, but all the time stay on the center. So the left hand's kind of moved by the right, and the right's moved by the left in terms of the upper. So just play a little bit with it, get a feel for it. And the Bokken's very light. So each hand's connected, but they're doing separate. They're doing kind of different things. Let's play with it. And this movement that we're getting now is this. But feel it again, the left hand's really doing the up and down, and give this movement, which is going to rotating the sword or circling the sword to the right hand. And I basically want the right hand's just going to kind of work on the line, and the wrist very flexible. So it's doing like this. It's doing this. And what I don't want to do is let the left hand do it again. If the left hand does it, the right hand starts to kind of drift. Starts to do this. But really find the right hand's gonna just find the top of the head. Do the left side, right side. Just try and feel it. Yeah. Just play with it a little bit. That's it. Yeah, good. 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 And just start to bring the focus in again. So in this case, just the hands are both going to snap together. So keep the sense of both hands doing separate things, connected, and then both together at the end. Especially the right hand, let it be quite free on the book. You got to sense the hands are kind of scissoring on the sword this way, and then both kind of snapping together. That's it. Good. Nice. Great. Good, and then just bring it all together and bring the footwork into it now. So coming in, yeah, I'm just trying to find the feet. So just do one cut at a time. Your right side, left side. Really try and get the sense of connecting in the ground. The feet and the hands coming together. Good. And just work with 6 in the kind of Zengo giri. So just cut with a shomanuchi, thrust through, and then change inside, left side, cut through, and just work through with a shoman for now. Down, thrusting out. And in this case, the change in the hips very clear from the shomanuchi move. The hips are in this position, and then into the ski movement. The hips are really opening out into this position. Be careful in this case that I don't come into here and then come into this position. Basically, the body's still kind of a little bit kind of square on. So find the hips here with the shomanuchi, and then allow the hips to kind of change. They're going to kind of coil in this way. Not a lot, just a little bit here. Allow the hip to coil in this way. So I end up in this position and not that position. It's kind of a small detail, but just let the hips change a little bit. Think about the jaw work that we do with the ski. It's not quite as wide with the jaw, with the bokken, but this. Just let the hips open out a little bit. That's it. Yeah, good. Nice. Good. And the same just with number 7. So I'm looking for Zengo, just working with a shomanuchi, and then find the ski. Turn, shomanuchi, and find the ski. Okay, good. And then just work with the set. So this comes is 1, 5, 6, and 7 together. So we start with 1 here. You come into a yokomen at number 5. You thrust at number 6, and then come over yokomen right side, ski on the left in number 7. So goes like this. Come back, ka, shomenuchi. Yokomen ski left side, yokomen right side, ski left side. Yeah. Good, good, good. Okay, good. So we're working on a move like the Gonawase, just in the receiving backside. So the key in this case is that the attack is going to come off the line with the Yokomenuchi, and then I'm going to hold the line backwards. And then each one is a cut to the center. So we'll just do 2, or depending on your space, you can do 4, but I'll just do 2. So in this case, you've got the attacker coming around to the side, roll back with the feet, and cut down to the center line. So I'm just coming back onto the line. Basically a little bit wedged out because the attacker's off the line here. And then coming back again, rolling down, and cutting straight down with the center. It's really just playing with an idea of coming backwards and holding the line. So rolling back, and cutting onto the right through the center. Rolling back, cutting through the center. And just really focus on the hip work. Really clearly extending down. Extending down. That's good. Yeah, and in this case, this is really like a hip exercise. In this case, just be careful you don't make a showman cut. So when you come back, I don't want to have the sword straight down the body this way and come here. Really think that you apply the hip down this way, and you're also coming into a yokomen position. If I kind of meet a yokomen attack with a showman, it's basically meeting an arcing attack with a straight line, and this basically just fails each time. So just have the sense of meeting it as the sword comes down. It's going to arc down in the body. So really have the sense that it's coming down in the yokomen. Yeah, here. And basically allow that change to be made in the hip work. So in this case, it's not just a kind of straight move back. It's a sense of rolling back and coiling with the hip this way. Coiling with the hip this way. So really feel the hips open. Nice and this way. This way. Nice. That's so good. That's it. Very good, good, good. Good. And then we'll work on the movement from defense against number 7. So it's a defense against a Yokomitsuki. In this case, start with the left leg forward. Now you're coming into a blocking position. So I'm coming to here, and in this case, just on the screen, I just want to be on the line of the shoulder. So if my partner's, in my case, my partner's like me, so I'm going to go into the shoulder line here, and then I'm going to press the Bokken down this way. And the idea with this is to press down and come back onto the center line here. So just play with this first, coming back, now making a block here, and then rolling the sword down this way, applying the hip here, and then just feel that you can come forward with the movement here. So just take the time with this, coming back, connect into the block here, and then press down with the hip. And the things that I can just roll forward with a strike. We're now working on the shoulder area, and press down with the hip this way, and come through. That's it. Yeah, good, good. Good. And then from the same position, you come in, find the block, press the body down, and then you're going to coil the hips back and find the center line with it, blend in with the thrust. So the fins come in here, press the sword down, and then really coil the hips back. This, and find in the center line with the sword. And number 7 comes into a block, press down, and coil the hips back. Again, really just focusing on the hip work. So really 3 distinct movements, all with different hip work. Okay, good. We'll just work on the movements from the second Kumitachi. So the number one. In this case, number one starts with kind of initiating this way, like this, kind of throwing the sword up. In the case of number two, starts with slowly raising the sword. So the sword's raising up, and basically both people are raising the swords together. So you raise up, and the point when you make the attack is going to be to the front knee. We'll look at the attacking version first. You raise up. The point is when the sword just passes the eyes, the level of the eyes. So it's just as the hands basically cover the eyes this way. And then from here, coming in and striking to the front knee this way. And really allowing the body to kind of bend into the attack. So it's raising, raising, raising. Keep it nice and slow. The hands just cover the eyes and then come forward. Forward with a strike. Yeah. This is a really, like a really low yokomenuchi to the knee. Raising, really pressing from the back foot, grounding the body in this way. That's good. Yeah, good. I'm going to try. In this case, the aim is for the front knee. So what I need to do is arc the cut in this way. So the cut needs to be coming in a kind of diagonal line. What I don't do is cut straight down. Imagine the knees in front. If you cut straight down, you're basically just going to kind of brush it. So you need to deliver the blow at an angle into the front knee this way. But I need to do it by changing the hips. So I need the hips to create that arc. What I don't do is let the arms do it that way and come out. So really try and find an angle in the cut, but allow the hips to kind of do it this way. So in this position, and then slide the hip in. So the back hip's really going to open out. This and this. So really just look for this angle. This. Really imagine the knees in front, or you can use a target. It's at the center, delivering a blow at an angle. That's it. Yeah. Good. That's it. Good. And then the movement for the defense is similar. I'm just kind of pulling back with it and defending the line. So in this case, rolling up here. So the strike's going to happen just as the hands pass the head. And what I want to do is roll back and protect the knee this way. So using the line. And again, really meeting the cut because it's an angled cut. I need to meet at an angle as well. I need to meet it down this way. Rolling up. And drawing the hips back this way. Again, I want the hips to create the angle. This. Down. And then the next move is initiated by the defender. So you've got this position raising up, coming back, defending it here. Now you've got this kind of pattern here where you blocked it and you've got an angle on the sword here. And you basically got the front wrist in front of you. So imagine that the wrist of the person, the attacker in front of you. What I do is release the sword and strike onto the wrist this way. So the film's really to cut onto the wrist. So it's coming out, down, and then snapping onto the wrist. So it's a kind of very, very fast, efficient move. It's from this position and just coiling this way. Just opening up and snapping down. So I really want to kind of snap onto the top of the hand this way. Let's try this movement. So you raise up, raise up, raise up, cut down, snap onto the wrist. Again, it's just done with the hip, so it's just unlocking the hip this way, snapping down. That's right. Good. That's and then what happens is the attacker kind of sees this movement. So the attacker's in here, and as the sword basically released from this contact, I basically have an opening. They just come in with a thrust here. So the feeling here, imagine that the sword's going to come onto the wrist. I need to really move off the line and coil through with the hip. Again, the movement's really created by the hip. The contact's lost, the opening's there, and then you coil in through with the hip. Through like number 7. So you draw up, you attack in, and then here, you just thrust in this way. That's really, both moves really off the line. Off the line here, and then off the line here. Good. Got it. That's it. Okay, good. So on the defending side, we go back. We come into here, raising up. Now, as soon as I release the sword and go for the hand, basically the hand disappears and the person's going through with the strike. So I basically release it and then I change plan. And I come back into a block this way. You raise up, cut down, release, and then I really coil the hip back. And in this case, really using a block. So not on the center line, but really pressing out for a block. So I don't really have time to control the center. So coming out, cutting back, releasing, and then coiling back this way. Release. Okay, the last part of the form really is like the Suchino Ase. So in this case, we just do the defending row, coming here, back, here, opening out with a block. Now in this case, I do the same. The yokomen's coming in, I connect with a block, press it down. And then from here, this movement back, again, is a block from the ski. Yeah, and then I cut back and I apply the hips down to finish the form here. A bit of tight space, but let's try this here. So this move's the same. Cutting down, release, roll back with a block. block here, press down, block the skin, and then here roll the hip and apply it down when you're coming forward. So it's the longest Kumitachi in this. Here, press, back, and finish.
Michael, for your last position, do you then still move backwards, or is that where you take the center?
Yeah, that's where you take the center. So you're in this position, you've got the block, and then you come through and you just press right through the center.
Forward.
Yeah, it just cuts straight through, so it's just finishing the form. So you're blocking off the ski and then coming through, yeah, straight through into the center this way. Yeah, that's the kind of finishing move.
Thank you.
Good. That's it. That's it. Good. That's it. Good. Okay, good. We'll finish that. We'll cover these again, so we'll go through these again. So there's some kind of more details in terms of the movements on the hips. That's the basic form for now. So we'll finish that. Hey, どうもありがとうございます。どうも。